All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the news just came down. Kirk Snyder signed a 5-year deal with the Atlanta Hawks. This is interesting. This is obviously a change in NBA protocol. The Nets were thinking about hiring Ime Udoka during the season, and Quin Snyder gets hired during the season for the Hawks. Usually they would go the interim route. The idea was, hey, I didn't have a training camp with these guys. It would be too hard for me to coach them, but I guess that's going out the window. I actually like it, but it was speculated that maybe Ime Udoka had a chance, but it looked like Quin Snyder was the guy the whole time. It seems like it's only been a 2-game win streak, but it seems like there's been a breath of fresh air in Atlanta. They're playing with a level of energy and intensity that they weren't playing before. And maybe that's just them coming out of the All-Star break. But John Collins had a quote that I'm putting up here. This is interesting. This makes it to me, in my estimation, that this was bigger than just Trae Young versus Nate McMillan. This might be just a structural problem with the team. This team is talented. They're not too far off from the 5th seed. And I think that they could definitely win a first round series. And, depending on injuries, maybe they can get hot again and make it to the conference finals. This team is talented enough to do that. So, interesting. Obviously people love Quin Snyder. I was listening to Zach Lowe podcast. People were raving about him. The thing with Quin Snyder is he's coached a facsimile of this team before, where you have a Mitchell as a primary ball handler, and then you have a bunch of guys around him, and then you have a dominant dive role guy. Obviously Trae Young would fill the role of Mitchell in this point. And then the other guys I think are more talented than the guys that they had in Utah. I think obviously DeJounte Murray is more talented than Mike Conley, has more ability. The wings are better shooters, I believe. Bogdanovich, but you have shooting, you have more athleticism, and I like their role guys. I like Capella, and I'm really interested in Congo. So, maybe they thought, hey, he coached a facsimile of this team, and he was able to get that team to have more ball movement. They weren't as stagnant. If he could just bring those principles into what we're doing, and Trae Young improves as a player, as well as DeJounte Murray improves, with the upside of a guy like Okongwu, hey, maybe we could still salvage this thing. So, and not have a massive teardown where we're thinking about trading Trae Young or trading DeJounte Murray and starting over again. All right, so that's my thoughts on the situation. Leave a comment. Try to respond to all the comments. Subscribe. The game is game.